I want to tell you about a WordPress plugin that I had to read about 3 times before I believed it was real. Not because it was amazing, not because it was terrible, but it occupies a category that simply didn't exist 6 months ago. It's called Novamira. It was built by the team behind dynamic content for Elementor, serious, experienced WordPress developers with a decade of production work. It has a free version. It has a GitHub repository. It's open source, and it does something that no WordPress plugin has ever done before in quite this way. It gives your AI agent, Claude, Cursor, VS Code Copilot, anything MCP compatible, a direct connection to your WordPress installation at the PHP level, not a simplified API, not a fixed menu of 10 predefined actions, the full PHP runtime. Your database, your file system, your plugins, every hook, every function, everything your WordPress installation can do. Available the AI agent as a live executable environment. I call this plugin dangerous in the title. That word was chosen carefully. Stay with me and I will explain exactly why. Let me tell you something clearly and on camera, not just in the description. I have an affiliate relationship with Novamira. If you click the link in the description of this video and then purchase Novamira Pro, I will earn a commission. This comes at no extra cost to you. The price you pay is identical whether you use my link or go directly to their website. I'm telling you this now at the start of the video in plain language because you deserve to know before I show you the product. This is not buried in small print. This is me on being direct. What this means for the content you are about to watch, my affiliate relationship doesn't change what I say about the tool. If I find something worth criticizing, that's the best in WP editorial standard and it doesn't move for any affiliate arrangement. If you prefer not to use an affiliate link, go directly to novamira.ai. You get the same product at the same price. Cards on the table, that's the phrase. Mine are now on the table. Let's build something useful. Now, before I explain what Novamira does, I need to give you a 60-second crash course on something called the Model Context Protocol, MCP. Because without understanding MCP, Novamira won't make sense. MCP, the Model Context Protocol, is an open standard developed by Anthropic. Its job is to standardize how AI agents communicate with external tools and services. Think of it as a universal adapter. Instead of every AI tool building custom integrations for every service, MCP creates one common language that any AI client can use to talk to any MCP-compatible server. Before MCP, if you wanted Claude to interact with your database, someone had to build a dedicated integration specifically for that. Custom code, specific authentication, one-off solution. With MCP, any tool that builds an MCP server becomes accessible to any MCP-compatible AI client. Claude, Cursor, VS Code Copilot, Windsurf, Gemini CLI, any of them. One standard, one connection. Think of MCP like USB-C, except instead of charging your laptop, it lets your AI agent modify your database, which is either more useful or more terrifying depending on your job title. Now, before telling you anything about Novamira, let's just go to Novamira website. This is their website, which is novamira.ai. Your AI agent builds inside your WordPress. Novamira gives your AI full access to PHP execution, WP CLI commands, database queries, and file edits. Real features shipped on your dev and staging side. Full access, full responsibility. Novamira runs PHP inside your WordPress process. Your AI can do anything PHP can do. Keep that in mind. Now, Novamira is an MCP server built as a WordPress plugin. When you install it, you are giving any MCP-compatible AI agent a standardized, authenticated connection to your WordPress installation. And unlike most MCP servers, which give the AI a fixed menu of specific predefined actions, Novamira gives it something fundamentally different. It gives it PHP. MCP মানে AI এর জন্য universal adapter, Novamira সেই adapterটা WordPress এ connect করে. Let's see how Novamira works from prompt to your WordPress site. So you can see the AI works directly on your WordPress, which is from discovery to prototyping to saving the work and to capture how you want things done as skills, short markdown, playbooks. The agent loads automatically when their description matches the task and then expand. Every tool is real PHP saved to your server and loaded automatically. So here's what makes Novamira genuinely different from every other AI tool in the WordPress space. And I want to be precise because this distinction is everything. Most WordPress AI tools give the agent a menu, a fixed list of predefined actions. You can create a post, you can update a plugin, you can change a setting, that's it. The AI operates within those boundaries. If you need something that isn't on the menu, the AI can't help it. Novamira gives the agent a language, PHP, running inside WordPress actual runtime environment. Instead of asking the AI, do the things I have pre-approved, you are asking the AI, understand my entire WordPress installation and do whatever PHP can do to solve this problem. The difference in practice, you connect your AI client to Novamira, the agent reads your setup, your active plugins, theme structure, database tables. It understands your specific stack. Then you give it a task, add a custom endpoint to my REST API that returns the last 10 orders filtered by customer location. The agent writes PHP code, test it against your actual WordPress installation, catches errors, iterates. When the code works, it saves to a sandboxed PHP file that loads automatically on every request. It's like hiring a developer who reads your entire code base before writing a single line, never charges overtime, and doesn't need to be explained what WooCommerce is. The downside is that this developer also never sleeps, has no fear, and will absolutely try to execute whatever you ask without asking, are you sure? Go to Commerce, the agent discovers it automatically and starts using its API. Running ACF, same, Gravity Forms, WPML, Yoast, some obscure custom plugin from 2017 that you can't even find the documentation for. All accessible, no additional configuration, no plugin specific integrations to install. Before I tell you whether to trust this plugin, you need to know who made it. Novamira was built by Dynamic.io, an Italian WordPress development company that has been building serious developer tool for WordPress since 2018. Their flagship product, Dynamic Content for Elementor, is one of the most technically sophisticated Elementor extensions available. It's used by agencies and developers who need the kind of dynamic data handling that Elementor doesn't natively support. This is not a side project from a blogger who learned PHP last year. This is a team with years of production WordPress work, deep understanding of the platform's architecture, and a track record of shipping tools that professional developers actually rely on. Their GitHub is public, their documentation is detailed, their security model is explicit. I always check who built a plugin before I cover it. Built by a credible team is the difference between this is innovative and this will get you hacked. Dynamico passes the test. That context matters enormously for what comes next, because what Novamira enables requires you to trust both the tool and the people who built it. And I would rather trust an experienced Italian WordPress development team than an anonymous free plugin from a first-time developer. প্লাগিন কে বানাইছে সেইটা দেখাটা অবশ্যই জরুরি, কারণ এই প্লাগিনের ক্ষমতা অনেক বেশি, ভুল মানুষের হাতে পড়লে বিশাল। Let me walk you through what the AI agent can actually do when connected to Novamira, and I want you to hear these capabilities as a developer, not as a casual user, because this tool is not for casual users. Now, PHP execution with full WordPress context. The agent can run arbitrary PHP with complete access to WPDB, every WordPress function, and every active plugins API, not through a sandbox simulation against your real running installation. File system operations. The agent can read any file on the server, write new files, edit existing ones, theme files, configuration files, custom code, using exact string replacement. New PHP files go into a dedicated sandbox directory where crashes are caught and auto-recovered. Plugin management. Activate plugins, deactivate plugins, check plugin status. The agent can manipulate your plugin stack in real time as part of workflow. Free site project memory in Pro. The agent stores your site's specific conventions, color palette, typography preferences, CTA styles, plugin preferences between sessions. When you come back the next day, you don't explain your stack from scratch. The agent already knows that. Elementor and brick-specific expertise in Pro, including Elementor V3 to V4 atomic widget migration support, one of the most technically painful workflows in the Elementor ecosystem right now. The agent handles the migration logic automatically. The practical application for a developer managing 5 WooCommerce stores, each one slightly different, each with its own custom fields and plugins, is genuine. You describe what you need once per site, the agent adapts to each install's specific configuration. You stop writing the same explanatory context in every chat session. If you have ever pasted your entire functions.php into an AI chat window and then had to repaste it 15 minutes later because the context window expired, Novamira is the solution to exactly that specific kind of developer suffering. Now, the word dangerous in the title. I want to explain it precisely, not sensationally, because Novamira is not dangerous in the way that a badly coded plugin with an unpatched vulnerability is dangerous. It's dangerous in a different and more interesting way. The number one risk is full access is full access. Novamira runs PHP inside your WordPress process. Any code your AI runs can do anything PHP can do. The sandbox directory isolates new PHP files for recovery, but direct code execution bypasses the sandbox. The agent can modify your database, delete files, change configuration, disable security plugins, install malicious code, not intentionally, but as an unintended consequence of a poorly framed prompt that the AI executes literally. This is not a hypothetical risk. PatchStack's 2026 security report specifically calls out vibe coding, where developers use LLMs to generate plugin code and ship it without being able to audit what the model wrote. An AI agent executing PHP in a live environment operates in exactly this territory. The agent doesn't know that a piece of code is dangerous. It executes what it understands you are asking for. AI কোনটা ডেঞ্জারাস সেটা বুঝে না, আপনি বুঝলেই চলবে এবং এইটা আপনারই রেসপন্সিবিলিটি। সো প্রম্পট ঠিক মতো দেওয়াটা খুবই জরুরি। স্টেজিং অনলি মিনস স্টেজিং অনলি, it's not a suggestion. The Novamira documentation is unambiguous. This is for development and staging environments, not production sites. The documentation make it clear that this is built for staging and development environments, not for live sites, and that you should have a backup before you start. Not a nice to have, but mandatory. People will ignore this. People always ignore this. They will see a cool tool, install it on their production site, grant an AI agent full PHP execution access to a website that has real customer data, real payment records, real email lists, and then wonder what went wrong. It says staging only, but my site is basically fine. It's the WordPress equivalent of I will just do a quick update on a Friday afternoon. We have all seen how that sentence ends. Third risk is the security landscape makes timing uncomfortable. In 2025, 11,334 new vulnerabilities were found in the WordPress ecosystem, a 42% increase year on year. The weighted median time from vulnerability disclosure to mass exploitation was 5 hours. We are in a WordPress security environment that is getting measurably worse every year. Introducing a tool that gives any authenticated admin user a direct PHP execution pipeline into WordPress, even with good safeguards, requires understanding that risk landscape clearly. Novamira's safeguards are real, disabled by default, authenticated over HTTPS, the secured system. Application passwords revocable. No data touches their servers. The team is transparent and competent, but secure by default and impossible to misconfigure are different things. Novamira is the first. Nobody can promise the second. Let's see the pro plan right now. If we go to the pricing page, we can see that their preliminary plan is free, and then they have three pricing plan. One is personal, which is for 3 sites. Another is agency for 1,000 sites. And another is agency lifetime for 1,000 sites. Their personal plan starts from €49 per year. Agency €129 per year. And agency lifetime is $249 per year. Now, clear verdicts. Who should use this right now? Experienced WordPress developers working in staging environments. If you are the kind of developer who already has a proper staging workflow, dedicated dev environment, backups before every session, clear separation between staging and production, Novamira is genuinely worth your time. The productivity gain on complex multi-install agency work is real, not theoretical. Agencies handling Elementor V3 to V4 migrations. The Pro tier's automated migration support for this specific workflow is one of the most practical AI capabilities I have seen attached to a real documented problem in WordPress. If you have clients stuck on Elementor version 3, this is worth investigating. Developers already using MCP in their workflow. If you are using Claude Code, Cursor, or any MCP-compatible client in your development process, Novamira adds a WordPress-specific layer that extends what you are already doing. The learning curve is minimal because the tool works within your existing setup. Who should absolutely not touch this yet? Anyone who plans to install it on a production site. I will say it again. Staging and development only. If you don't have a staging environment, install one before installing Novamira. Non-technical users, this is not a drag and drop tool. It requires understanding what PHP execution means, what your WordPress database contains, and what full file system access implies. If those phrases don't immediately tell you something concrete about risk, you are not ready for this tool yet. Anyone who plans to skip the backups, having a backup before you start is not a nice to have, but mandatory. That's a direct quote from the documentation. Take it very seriously. Staging environment আছে, backup আছে, PHP বোঝেন, তাইলে try করেন, নাইলে কোনো মতেই ট্রাই করেন, আর প্রোডাকশন সাইটে তো ভুলেও ট্রাই করেন। Here's where I land on Novamira after going through everything. This is the most technically significant new WordPress plugin of 2026. Not because it's perfect, not because it's safe for everyone, because it represents something genuinely new. A category of tool that didn't exist before, an AI agent that understands your specific WordPress installation and operates inside it at the native level. The team that built it has the credibility to be trusted with this kind of tool. The security model is transparent and sensible. The free version gives developers meaningful access without a financial commitment. The Pro tier adds features that solve specific, real problems, and the risks are real, stated by the team themselves, and completely manageable if you respect them. The question I want you to sit with is this: what happens when a tool like this matures over the next 12 months? When the safeguards tighten, the community grows, the edge cases get documented, when every senior WordPress developer has an AI agent that knows their entire plugin stack without being told. That's not a hypothetical future. That's the direction this tool is pointing, and Best in WP will keep tracking them. In 5 years, we will either be talking about how Novamira changed WordPress development forever, or we will be talking about the incident. Let's all try to make sure it's the former. Are you already using MCP tools, Claude Code, Cursor, anything in your WordPress development workflow? Have you tried Novamira? Or does the concept of giving an AI agent PHP execution access to your WordPress install make you want to lie down in a dark room? All of those responses are valid. Tell me in the comments. I want to know where the developer community actually is on this, because my next deep dive on Claude and MCP in WordPress is coming, and I'm specifically building it around the questions that come out of this video. Comment, I read everything, I reply personally. That's the rule here. ভাইয়া বাপু, আপনারা কি এমসিপি বা এআই এজেন্ট ব্যবহার করছেন কিনা এখন পর্যন্ত ওয়ার্ডপ্রেসে? নোভামিরা সম্পর্কে আপনাদের মতামত কি? কমেন্টে জানায়েন, কমেন্টে কথা হবে। সবশেষে একটাই কথা, প্লাগইনটা ডেঞ্জারাস, কিন্তু যদি ঠিক হাতে পড়ে তাইলে এটা দিয়ে অসম্ভব পাওয়ারফুল কাজ করা যাবে। সো বি কশাস while using. See you in the next one.